Guys, we have an urgent breaking news coming out. United States issues advisory for potentially hazardous situation near Venezuela main airport due to worsening security situation. Threat could pose a potential risk to aircraft at all altitudes, including during overflight, the arrival and departure phases of flight, and or airport and aircraft on the ground, the advisory says. So there is a NOTAM. Give me a second here, guys. There was a huge alert that was just put out. Give me a second here. Let me just pull up this information here. Yeah, so WAS Alert is putting out the news. This is the one right here. The United States has issued a warning to airlines advising them to avoid Venezuela airspace due to growing safety and security concerns in the region. We're going to see what's going on with this story before I start. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Alright, so we're going to see what's going on with this one here, guys. This is a big breaking red alert and concerning times that we are living. We've been talking about Venezuela these last couple of days, and I did post a video last night. All those B-52s, bombers, and also F-18s near Venezuela, and now we are getting this news. The U.S. has issued a new NOTAM advisory of a potentially hazardous situation near Venezuela main airport due to the worsening security situation and heightened military activity in or around the country. Now, threats could pose a potential risk to aircraft at all altitudes, including during overflight, the arrival and departure phases of flight, and or airport and aircraft on the ground. Wow. The United States has issued a new NOTAM for the entire Venezuelan flight information region, advising of a hazardous security environment amid worsening condition and heightened military activity in and around Venezuela. Wow. Oh man, look at that. So all this region, everything that is highlighted. Seems like Venezuela is responding back with all this hazardous stuff, trying to scare away the U.S. aircraft, F-18s, and those B-52 bombers. So, I don't know. I feel like Venezuela is releasing something in the air. Again, that's what it is. I believe they are possibly releasing something in the air to kind of scare away the U.S. aircraft, those jets, because it's getting too close to their territory. So there's a possibility they might be releasing something. Alright, so I'm going to have to read this really quick. I can't show this next one, this advertisement, and this pictures I cannot show. The development comes shortly after the U.S. president said he will speak with Venezuelan leader Nicolas in the not too distant future, and will say something very specific to him as Washington, D.C. continues to escalate pressure on Caracas. Now, speaking to Fox News, Brian, you have the U.S. president repeatedly refused to provide more details on his next move, but claimed his administration will be very involved. The U.S. president had already said last weekend that he could talk to Nicolas and that Caracas wanted to engage in dialogue. However, at the same time, his administration is set to officially designate the gangs, which is accuses Nicholas and other top officials of leading a organization on Monday. Now, I'm not going to say that name. Let me just highlight it. The T organization. All right, so neither Nicholas nor his cronies represent Venezuela legitimate gov. The gangs, by and with other designated FTOs, including multiple gang, are responsible for the violence throughout our hemisphere, as well as for these drugs into the sleeping giant and Europe. So there's again, it seems like there's some kind of possibly some kind of attack that's going on. So Nicholas has repeatedly called for dialogue with the U.S. commander, but is showing defiance at the same time. On Wednesday, he said heavy weaponry and missiles have been deployed in a key part of the country. Things are really escalating in that region. So it says here, Nicholas said the deployment is part of a comprehensive defense plan and fortifies the corridor between Caracas and the coastal state of La Guardia. He showed the area in a map during a televised address, noting that the plan detailed how the regime intends to defend the population from external threat, street by street, community by community, weapon by weapon, weapon system by weapon system. In another passage of the address, Nicholas added that an arsenal of weapons for the militiaman and militiawoman is already in place. Now, I don't know if you guys seen the video of the residents. I mean, a lot of these people they're not well trained or prepared. All right. If war breaks out, it's just, I feel so bad for the people out there. I truly do. I truly do. And of course, Nicholas, again, the way I see it, he's going to throw them in the front line. He's going to keep the best military in the back and use them last. So he claimed that over 8 million people enrolled in the militia during a drive in August after the U.S. began its military deployment in the area. Now, there were some videos released that showed some of these people. A lot of these people it seemed like they were having fun just running around with those heavy equipment. But at the same time, we need to pray for them because they don't know what's coming. They don't know what's coming to them. And again, some of these fallen leaders, they really don't put out a lot of info to their citizens. All right, so we're going to go with this next window here. The U.S. warns airlines about Venezuelan airspace. So someone is releasing some perfume in the air, put it like that. So the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration has issued an urgent advisory warning airlines of a potentially hazardous situation when flying over Venezuela due to a worsening security situation and heightened military activity in the region. The advisory urges caution for flights across Venezuela, entire flight information region, and notes that threats could pose risk to aircraft at all altitude. The FAA notice cites several reasons for the new warning include, number one, a surge in global navigation satellite system interference since September 2025, which has affected civilian aircraft and can disrupt critical communications and navigation system up to 250 nautical miles away. Number two, intensify military operations, with Venezuela mobilizing thousands of military and reserve forces since early September. Number three, concerns that Venezuelan military capabilities, including advanced fighter aircraft and weapon system, could pose a risk to civil aircraft. In addition to the new warning, A long-standing ban from the US Department of Transportation has been in effect since May of 2019, which suspended all commercial passengers and cargo flights between the United States and Venezuela indefinitely due to concerns for the safety and security of passengers and crew. The U.S. Department of State also maintained a level 4 do not travel, and we did talk about that last night, that do not travel. I did post a video on this channel. Advisory for Venezuela, citing risk of wrongful detention, crime, civil unrest, and poor health infrastructure. So they're really sounding the alarm here. Very dangerous time out there. In other words, it seems like things are about to hit the fan really bad. Give me a second. Let me go on X and see if we can find some more updates on this story here. I just got home too, guys. Been really busy. Couple of errands. Had to do some stuff. Once again, breaking news. U.S. has released a new NOTAM covering all Venezuelan airspace, citing a potentially dangerous security environment as conditions deteriorate and military activity intensifies in and around the country. Wow. Let me just give me a second here. I want to click on this picture. Jeez. Man. I don't know, guys. Every day there's always something going on in the Caribbean. So it seems like this is all of it here. Like I said, I would keep it updated with all this news. The Daily Mail is putting out the information. U.S. issued terrifying NOTAM air travel warning as Venezuela crisis spirals. I'm going to share this one here, guys. If you want to check it out, the link will be on my Twitter page. All right, let me continue scrolling and see if there's any updates. Yeah, so even End Time Headlines is putting out something here. The U.S. has issued a terrifying new warning for the airspace around Venezuela as U.S. commander dispatched a B-52 nuclear bomber for a strike demo. We talked about this. Give me a second here. Hold on. We talked about the B-52 bomber last night. So let's see what's going on with this news. This is something that is coming out right now. So the U.S. has issued a terrifying new warning for the airspace around Venezuela as U.S. commander dispatched not one, not two, not three, but 4 B-52 nuclear bomber for some kind of attack demo. The Federal Aviation Authority sent out a notice to air missions at around 1:08 p.m. Eastern Time, alerting pilots, airlines, and air traffic controllers of a potentially hazardous situation in and around Venezuela. The Federal Aviation Authority sent out a notice to air missions. All right, so potentially hazardous situation. So we already know this here. Give me a second. The notice warns of a worsening security situation and heightened military activity in or around Venezuela. I'm skipping some of this part here. The warning is for the Maiquetía Flight Information Region, which includes Venezuelan airspace and parts of the Southern Caribbean, such as Colombia, Guyana, Brazil, and Trinidad. Now, the president on Monday refused to rule out strike on Venezuela amid the largest buildup of American troops in the Caribbean since the Cold War. Now, the president is waging war against the gangs which the administration accuses of funneling some of their product into the U.S. on the orders of Nicholas. Now, the president reiterated that he probably would talk to Nicholas. All right, so we're going to skip some of this stuff here. All right, so I'm not seeing anything about the B-52s. Give me a second. Let me just click on more. Okay, so it's basically what I talked about yesterday. So there was B-52s that's out there doing their exercise, military exercises. So I guess it's a response, possibly a response to the U.S. with their B-52s out there. But we are seeing something. We are definitely seeing something here. Nicholas is sending a message. Back away. You're getting too close to my territory with those bombers. And for those of you that don't know, those B-52s are big planes. Very big planes. And the F-18s aircraft, they are no joke. Those F-18s came from the USS Ford, the biggest aircraft carrier in the world, that just arrived last week. So Nicholas, yeah, I do believe he's sending a message here to the sleeping giant. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Check out the videos I posted today. The links will be in the comments box. I got some more videos coming up. So again, thank you so much for your support. God bless you all. Till next time later. Peace.